and welcome to my channel, Changing Faces Tarot. So happy to have you here with me today. Now today's reading is a monthly reading for October 2025 for the Earth sign Taurus. Taurus, I hope that you're doing well. So for the reading today, I will be doing a 10-card Celtic cross spread using the Crystal Visions Tarot deck. If I need to clarify, I have the Zillich Tarot deck here. At the end, I will pull one additional oracle card from the Goddess's Knowledge cards. And just a reminder that, these messages may or may not resonate. If they do resonate and you enjoy the reading, please consider giving the video a thumbs up. You might want to subscribe. That way you will be notified whenever I do post new content. If you're looking for like shorter kind of daily content, you can follow me over on TikTok at Changing Faces Tarot. And, if the messages resonate, that's wonderful. If they don't, then this month the messages may not have been for you, or it might be a good idea for you to take a look at not just your sun sign reading, but also your moon and rising, right? That way you will have a more complete overview of what's going on around you at this time. All right, so let's get going then. So Taurus, you begin with, starting off strong with Major Arcana number 2. This is the High Priestess, and the High Priestess is associated with the water sign Cancer. High Priestess is very much about intuition, right? She sits between the physical realm and the spiritual realm, and she's sort of, she encourages us to tap into our own intuition. So it might be a month where you need to definitely pay attention to the messages that you receive, sort of that inner knowing. Also pay attention to signs, synchronicities, repeating numbers, right? When you're just out and about every day, it might be on a sign post somewhere, or on a car license plate, or it might be the clock while you're doing something. You look at it and it's repeating numbers, 444 or things like that. Also pay attention to what you were doing at that time, what you were thinking at that time, right? Those are just small ways that Spirit is sort of communicating with you. Also pay attention to, as you can see, she's on this moon here, right? So standing there. So definitely pay attention to any messages coming through at nighttime. So in your dreams, right? It might be a good month for you to keep a dream journal. So spirituality, intuition, those are kind of key words for the month so far. Wow. And what could help or hinder this? You have Major Arcana number 10, the Wheel of Fortune. So there's a significant change coming in this month for you, okay? And the Wheel of Fortune is associated with the fire sign of Sagittarius. But Taurus, this wheel, it's constantly turning, right? And obviously sometimes we can find ourselves on the downturn of the wheel, and it seems like everything is not going the way that we would like it to go. And then the wheel turns and things really start picking up. And so you are on, could be a month where you find yourself on this upturn of the wheel, right? So 10s in the tarot are also endings, right? They end out cycles, representing a new cycle starting up. So there's a new cycle starting up. It could be one that's more in line with what you have been, hoping for. But it's definitely, cycles and intuition. Those are the key words so far. Okay, in the deep past, you might have already received this, or experienced this energy. For others, you might be going through it at this time, depending on when you're listening to the reading. But we have the Ace of Pentacles. So this is, the new job offer. This can be a lump sum of money coming in. Aces in the tarot are also yes cards. So if you have been waiting for an answer, this is the yes that you would have been waiting for. The Suit of Pentacles itself is earth energy. You're obviously an earth sign, Taurus, so it has to do with the work that we do, the money we earn, our homes, our family. And, we usually think of like the ace is obviously the first of that suit. So it's like a new beginning, a new offer. So this could have been a new job offer coming in. It could be a new way for you to make money. Does sit in the deep past. In the recent past, we have Major Arcana number 6, Justice. This lump sum of money I'm getting for some of you, it could have been tied to like legal proceedings. So you might have won a legal case, something to do with, you sued somebody, went to court, and you got a payout because of that. But the justice, it represents justice being served, karmic justice. coming in here, right? So if you have been wronged in the past, this is the scales of justice evening out. And so, you know, things finally are kind of fair, a balancing out of energies. The Justice card is also is associated with the air sign of Libra, so it could be dealing with a Libra. But, you know, karmic justice being served. In the crowning position, wait, you have so many major arcanas. This is the, out of 1, 2, 3, 4, out of 5 cards, you've had 4 major arcanas so far. So, you know, this just, what it represents is that this month could be a very significant month for you, Taurus. When we have, you know, this many major arcana showing up in a reading, it can really represent kind of, it's the universe. You know, there's a lot of divine orchestration and timing at play. Things are more out of your hands, right? When we have more pip cards or more, you know, just the non-major arcanas, it kind of, it shows that we might have more control over the things that are going on. It's more like mundane day-to-day activities. When we have this many major arcanas, these are significant life altering events, potentially. So crowning you, message from your higher self is the Chariot. This is a card of victory. Okay, the Chariot is associated with the water sign of Cancer, and the Chariot represents, you know, it's, well, one, it's she's managing to kind of overcome or bring together, harness the energies, the light and the dark, so bringing together, you know, the yin, the yang, but ultimately it's a victory, right? She is coming in victorious, but it's a hard fought for, hard won victory. So it hasn't been easy. It hasn't come overnight, right? She's worked long and hard for this, but she is coming in victorious nonetheless. The Chariot also represents movement. Obviously, you can see on the card, right, the horses charging down or charging across the card here. And it can represent movement across land, moving to a different part of the country. It can be buying a car, selling a car. But there's definitely, you know, there's movement, which is crowning your reading. We have more offers here with the Page of Pentacles showing up in the near future. And pages typically, they bring in news about something. So in the case of the Page of Pentacles, news about a new job offer, right? News about a new way for you to make money. But as it is Earth energy, which is very tangible, it's more secure than that. It's not just the news. This would be sort of the news about the job offer, but it's concrete, right? This job, it will actually come in. You could be dealing with a younger Earth sign individual. So again, either a younger Taurus like yourself, Virgo, Capricorn. But this is, you know, it's the beginning phases of a new way for you to make money, or this job offer coming in. You show up as major arcana number 5, the Hierophant. And the Hierophant is, is associated with your sign, Taurus. So you're showing up very strongly here in your own reading. And the Hierophant, we usually think of it as kind of all of the norms, the traditions, the traditional way of doing things, is because it's, you know, represents this religious figure who, you know, sits at the head of a large religious institution. It can also be dealing with other large institutions such as, you know, the government, such as the legal, you know, the court system, educational system. But that's interesting. Well, we might come back to that. We'll keep going. Surrounding you in your environment, you have the Page of Swords. Again, pages bring in news. The Suit of Swords is air energy, so it can be, you know, communication. It's our thoughts, you know, it's how we get our thoughts across to other people. Sometimes this page, the Page of Swords, is kind of a sneaky energy. It can show up when there are people that are sort of stalking you, right, keeping tabs on you. But if it has to do with, say, a new job offer, it can be quite innocent, and that they're just, you know, it's the human resources people checking up on you, doing background checks, you know, getting your references, that type of thing. Going back to the Justice card, if it is dealing with the court system and, you know, somebody, you have been going up against somebody, something along those lines, then this could be like a kind of a sneaky energy where they're trying to dig up dirt on you. Your hopes and fears, yeah, you're hoping for this financial stability, right? The Nine of Pentacles is like the self-sufficient, self-reliant bachelorette card, because this person has worked long and hard, put in the hard work and effort, and has now created, you know, this beautiful life that they always envisioned for themselves. So you are hoping for financial stability, right? You're hoping for this, to have all of the material things that you've always wished for in life. And you're getting that. By the end of the month, we have progression here to the Ten of Pentacles. This is like the, you know, the happily ever after in terms of finances, because it can represent, again, a lump sum of money, because it's generational type wealth, right? This isn't the type of wealth that you get from one day to the next. It's passed down from one generation to another. So sometimes the Ten of Pentacles shows up when you're receiving an inheritance, right? Which is what I was mentioning, like the lump sum of money coming in, can be inheriting money itself or inheriting a property. But there's, you know, you kind of have a couple of repeat messages here. Repeat with the job or offer coming in, repeat with the lump sum of money coming in. Yes, it's an interesting read this month. We have bottom of the deck, like we needed more confirmation. We have, and this is the, so remember I was saying that the Page of Pentacles, as the page, it usually brings in news, but here is the actual offer, right? The Knight, Knights go off on quests in the Tarot. They bring back the offer. So this is the offer, right? This is the new job offer. This is the new way for you to make money, right? This is that, and it's a type of job or a way for you to make money that is going to be very long lasting, right? Earth energy, there's longevity attached to it. So, you know, this could be a job where you're going to stay for quite a long time, especially with this Wheel of Fortune starting up this new cycle, right? This could be somewhere where you are going to stay for quite a long period of time. So this is a very interesting reading. I don't feel that I need to clarify, really. It's, and I'm being drawn back to the Hierophant for you. This job offer, I mean, it could have to do with, if you're being represented by this traditional way of doing things, there could be, this job could be a very kind of a traditional type of job. So you're entering into like a teaching position, or, you know, something along those lines. It's like one of those, not a very different way for you to make money. So not like as an influencer, or, you know, or a blogger, or, you know, recording podcasts. I feel like it would be a more traditional type of job. This is very interesting. All right, let's go ahead and we'll pull one additional oracle card for you. And this is from the Goddess's Knowledge deck. So one additional message for Taurus. What else does Taurus need to know in the month of October? Messages. One additional message for Taurus for the month of October. Okay, we'll do one last shuffle and divide that. Okay, and we have Morgan Le Fay. Let me hold the card up so you can see. I know that they're very kind of pastel colors, so a little bit difficult to see. So Morgan Le Fay is commonly remembered as the enchantress half-sister of King Arthur. She is, in fact, the great queen goddess, ruler of the mystical island of Avalon, the fortunate island of the blessed dead. Sometimes equated with the ancient Irish warrior goddess Morrigan, she is the Celtic death goddess. As Morgana Fata, she is the controller of destinies and knows the fate of each person. She is noted for her healing powers, her knowledge of healing plants, and her prophetic vision. Like a shaman, she is a shapeshifter, able to take on many forms. Morgan Le Fay represents that deep place of healing magic within each of us, the center where wisdom and healing flow even in the moment of death. The ambivalence with which she is traditionally represented echoes our own fear of her deep and ancient wisdom. And that's so interesting, right? Her vision, her healing, abilities, healing powers. I mean, that goes hand in hand with your center card, which is the High Priestess, right? So yeah, definitely, you know, listen to your intuition this month. And you know, as far as the vision goes, I feel that you're being guided to listen to that gut feel. So whatever, you know, whatever comes in new for you this month with this Wheel of Fortune, allow yourself to be led by your intuition. Pay attention to those messages that are coming through intuitively this month. All right, so it looks like a very powerful month for you, right? With, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So half of your spread made up of major arcana. It looks like a significant month. So I do hope that you have enjoyed the reading. I look forward to reading for you again. And just know that I'm sending you much peace, love, and light for a great month of October. Bye for now.